Today in Burkina Faso, they have a certainty. Terrorism is almost over. What needs to be done? Either create a rebellion or start a civil war. Manipulation must not succeed. We have a goal to achieve, and we will achieve it.
For decades, Burkina Faso, a landlocked nation in West Africa, has faced an uphill battle against the crippling effects of inadequate infrastructure. Broken roads, unreliable electricity, weak transportation systems, and limited access to basic services have kept its people trapped in cycles of poverty, stagnation, and instability. But recent bold leadership, exemplified by President Ibrahim Traoré, is changing that narrative dramatically. At the heart of this transformation lies the groundbreaking Faso MeboA Initiative, a visionary project that is turning dusty dirt roads into highways of opportunity, promising a new dawn for Burkina Faso and potentially for the entire African continent. This is more than just a story about roads. It's about leadership, resilience, innovation, and a collective vision to lift millions out of hardship. It's about building a future where development isn't just a dream, but a tangible reality rooted in concrete progress. A legacy of neglect and the urgent need for change. Burkina Faso's history is marred by years of infrastructural neglect. Its rugged terrain, combined with political instability, limited investment, and resource constraints, has resulted in a nation where daily life is a relentless struggle. Basic activities, going to school, attending health clinics, transporting goods, are often hindered by poor infrastructure. Imagine a typical farmer in a remote village trying to transport their harvest during the rainy season. The dirt roads turn into muddy quagmires, making travel impossible for weeks. Many villagers have to wait for hours, sometimes days, for transportation that may never come. This not only causes food spoilage, but also diminishes income, trapping farmers in poverty. Similarly, in health emergencies, the lack of reliable roads means ambulances cannot reach patients swiftly. Entire communities remain vulnerable to disease outbreaks and preventable deaths. The difficulty in transporting goods and services discourages investment, hampers economic growth, and perpetuates a cycle of underdevelopment. The deep impact of infrastructure deficit. The consequences of neglecting infrastructure ripple across every aspect of life. Economic stagnation. Without reliable roads and communication, businesses cannot operate efficiently. Costs skyrocket, supply chains break down, and opportunities vanish. Local economies remain stagnant, trapping millions in poverty. Poverty and unemployment. Farmers and artisans struggle to reach markets. Industries fail to expand because of logistical nightmares. Youth unemployment rises, leading to frustration, social unrest, and vulnerability to extremism. Limited access to services. Schools and clinics are often located far from rural communities, making access difficult. Children miss out on education. Sick people cannot reach healthcare facilities in time, resulting in preventable suffering and death. Security vulnerabilities. Poor infrastructure creates opportunities for armed groups to operate undetected. Regions already battling terrorism find it harder to defend themselves, leading to further instability. The heavy toll of inaction. The cost of neglecting infrastructure is not just economic, it's human. When a nation cannot connect its citizens to markets, education, or healthcare, it effectively suppresses its own potential. It's akin to building a house on unstable ground. No matter how beautiful the design, it will eventually collapse. In Burkina Faso, this reality has meant rural communities remain cut off during the rainy season. Farmers are unable to sell their produce efficiently, leading to income loss. Children are forced to walk long distances on unsafe paths to access schools. Emergency responders struggle to reach victims, risking lives unnecessarily. Investors hesitate, fearing logistical and security issues, stunting economic growth. All these factors reinforce the cycle of poverty, marginalization, and instability. The launch of the Faso MeboA Initiative.
For this wonderful initiative, it is also an opportunity to send a message to all Burkinabés because the head of state has always said so. It is through ourselves, through our efforts, through our ingenuity that we will meet the challenges facing Burkina Faso.
Recognizing the urgent need for change, Burkina Faso's leadership took a decisive step in 2024. President Ibrahim Traoré launched the Faso MeboA Initiative, an ambitious national program aimed at transforming the country's infrastructure landscape. This initiative wasn't born out of empty promises or bureaucratic declarations. Instead, it was a tangible, action-oriented movement designed to rebuild Burkina Faso from the ground up, literally, from its roads to its communities.
Slogans, those slogans are important, slogans matter, but beyond slogans, every Burkinabe must do their part. Everyone needs to contribute so that we can transform our country, our cities, and our neighborhoods as quickly as possible. I believe that this is how we will truly live up to what is expected of us.
Inspired by China's Belt and Road Initiative, which transformed China from a developing country into an infrastructure powerhouse, Traoré adapted the blueprint to suit Burkina Faso's context. The goal was clear: construct thousands of kilometers of high-quality paved roads, develop affordable housing, and modernize essential services, electricity, water, healthcare, to create a resilient, inclusive, and prosperous nation. The strategic vision. The vision for Faso MeboA is simple but revolutionary. Build durable, high-quality roads connecting rural villages to urban centers. Develop affordable housing projects equipped with proper amenities like water, sanitation, and parking. Improve access to healthcare and education by establishing new clinics, schools, and transportation routes. Strengthen regional integration by facilitating cross-border trade and cooperation. The initiative was designed to be comprehensive, touching every facet of daily life, because infrastructure alone cannot catalyze sustainable development without accompanying social and economic reforms. Massive investment in construction machinery. One of the earliest and most striking steps was the government's strategic investment in construction machinery. In early 2024, Burkina Faso made headlines by acquiring over 900 heavy-duty construction vehicles, including bulldozers, excavators, graders, dump trucks, and road rollers. This fleet represented one of the largest infrastructure-focused investments in the country's history. The machinery was dispatched nationwide, with the explicit directive to replace dirt paths with durable paved roads, especially in rural areas. President Traoré emphasized swift action. No delays, no excuses, no failure. The target was to pave between 3,000 and 5,000 kilometers of roads annually, a pace that could outstrip many emerging economies and literally change the landscape of Burkina Faso. Why roads matter more than you think. The focus on roads may seem simple or even mundane, but their importance cannot be overstated. Roads are the backbone of economic activity, social cohesion, and national security. For farmers, better roads mean faster, cheaper transport of their harvests to markets, higher profits, and reduced food waste. For students, paved roads provide safer, more reliable routes to school, improving attendance and educational outcomes. For healthcare, ambulances can reach emergencies more quickly, saving lives. For businesses, lower transportation costs mean increased competitiveness and expanded markets. For security, improved connectivity enhances the ability of security forces to respond to threats and maintain stability. The African Development Bank attests that every kilometer of new quality road built in rural areas significantly reduces rural poverty, opening pathways out of hardship. A holistic approach, more than just roads. While the construction of roads is central, Faso MeboA is a holistic effort. It encompasses affordable housing. New housing projects in urban centers aim to reduce overcrowding and improve living standards, providing safe, modern homes with access to water, sanitation, and electricity. Public transportation and postal services, expanding networks to connect even the most remote villages, fostering communication and economic activity. Agricultural revitalization, programs designed to improve access to inputs, markets, and credit, boosting rural incomes and food security. energy infrastructure, electrification projects that bring reliable power to towns and villages, enabling better healthcare, education, and small business development. This integrated approach echoes the African Union's Agenda 2063, which underscores infrastructure as a key driver of Africa's future prosperity. It recognizes that sustainable development requires coordinated efforts across sectors, emphasizing social inclusion and environmental resilience, turning promises into reality. The momentum of Faso MeboA is already producing inspiring results. Consider a small village near Koudougou, Burkina Faso's third-largest city. Historically, this community thrived in agriculture, but was isolated by a 30-kilometer dirt road that turned into a muddy quagmire during rains. During the rainy season, villagers faced months of inactivity, losing income and access to markets. Thanks to the initiative, a newly paved road now connects this village directly to Koudougou's bustling markets. Travel time has decreased from 3 hours to just 30 minutes. Farmers are now able to sell their produce more efficiently, earning higher incomes and reducing waste. Children attend school more reliably, and healthcare providers can respond to emergencies swiftly, saving lives. This small but powerful example illustrates how infrastructure investments translate into tangible improvements in everyday life. Overcoming challenges, funding, security, and climate resilience. No large-scale transformation is without hurdles. Burkina Faso's Faso MeboA faces several challenges. Funding. Infrastructure projects are capital-intensive. While initial investments in machinery and construction have been substantial, maintaining and expanding the network necessitates ongoing resources. The government is exploring partnerships with international donors, development banks, and regional bodies to sustain momentum. Security threats. Terrorist activities in northern and eastern regions pose risks to project sites and personnel. The government has prioritized security measures, working with local communities and security agencies to protect infrastructure investments. Climate resilience. Burkina Faso's harsh climate, with intense rainy seasons and droughts, requires infrastructure designed for durability. The initiative incorporates climate-resilient materials and construction techniques, such as elevated roads and drought-resistant water systems. Community engagement. Recognizing that local buy-in is critical, Burkina Faso emphasizes involving communities early. Construction companies are mandated to hire local workers, and training programs teach young people how to operate machinery, perform maintenance, and even start their own construction businesses. This approach fosters ownership, creates jobs, and builds local capacity. Building local capacity and fostering ownership. A cornerstone of Faso MeboA's success is its emphasis on local participation. Unlike previous projects that were top-down and often failed due to lack of community involvement, this initiative actively involves communities in planning and implementation. Villages participate in decisions about where roads, schools, and clinics should be built. Training programs empower local youth to manage projects, perform maintenance, and develop entrepreneurship in construction and related sectors. This strategy not only creates immediate employment, but also ensures sustainability as communities take ownership of their infrastructure. The approach also reduces dependency on foreign contractors and fosters a sense of pride and confidence among citizens. The result is a more resilient and self-reliant nation. Regional and continental impact. Burkina Faso as a catalyst. The effects of Burkina Faso's infrastructure push are not confined within its borders. Improved road networks are opening new trade corridors, connecting landlocked regions to the coast. Neighboring countries like Mali, Niger, Ghana, and Ivory Coast are paying close attention. Discussions are underway to establish a West African infrastructure pact inspired by Burkina Faso's success. Such a regional initiative aims to coordinate road, rail, and energy projects across countries, creating a seamless transportation and trade network. If successful, this regional cooperation could transform West Africa into a dynamic economic bloc, boosting stability, attracting investment, and fostering prosperity for millions. A bright future, prospects, and potential. With sustained effort and investment, Burkina Faso's future looks promising. If the Faso MeboA continues to deliver results, the country could become one of West Africa's fastest-growing economies by 2035, reduce poverty significantly, especially in rural areas, create millions of jobs in construction, agriculture, manufacturing, and services, enhance regional integration and trade, set an example for other African nations seeking sustainable development. The journey is ongoing, but early signs of progress are encouraging. The transformation of Burkina Faso illustrates that with vision, leadership, and community involvement, even the most daunting challenges can be overcome. Building hope, 1 kilometer at a time. The story of Burkina Faso's Faso MeboA Initiative is a testament to what visionary leadership, strategic investment, and community participation can achieve. It underscores that infrastructure is more than concrete and asphalt. It is the backbone of human opportunity, dignity, and progress. As President Ibrahim Traoré's government continues to pave the way, the nation stands on the cusp of a new era, one where hope replaces despair and opportunity replaces hardship. The journey is far from over, but the destination is within sight. A prosperous, resilient Burkina Faso that shines as a beacon of African ingenuity and resilience. This inspiring transformation reminds us all that real change begins with bold action. Burkina Faso's story is not just about roads, it's about building a future, 1 kilometer, 1 community, 1 life at a time.